A video might not be the best idea when you're already crying. I need my brush. Hold on. I gotta get my beard brush because I actually just got a massage, and so my beard is a mess right now. Hang in there with me. You know, I have to look at myself, and so if I see my beard completely just hammered like that from the mask, and you know, because you got to wear a mask now when you get a massage. I was just thinking, and I started crying. I was talking with my friend. She's my massage therapist. She's Crystal's massage therapist. She's become a dear friend of ours, kind of like family. You know, she's just amazing. We love her. And we were just talking, and then we were talking about how I was just telling her how, like, the faith transition is so empowering. It's so empowering, and we really don't have any idea how empowering it is. I think Crystal and I, April will be 3 years. April will be 3 years that we've been out of the church. And one of the things that's been so powerful for me is to realize that I don't know a lot. There's a lot I don't know. And you know what? That's okay. It's okay to not know things. It's okay to not have answers. And it's scary. It's really, really scary at first. At first, when you don't know things and you're trying so hard to, you become aware that not everybody has your best interests at heart, and you kind of lived your whole life assuming that they did. And then you come to a place where you realize that everybody has their own best interests at heart. The majority of people have their own best interests at heart. And that there are people that want to take advantage of you not knowing certain things. Not knowing can be incredibly empowering. Not knowing and being afraid of not knowing can be incredibly disempowering, because now you become vulnerable. Now you become prey. And so, you know, it really goes back to that old saying, like, is it okay to admit when you don't know something? Is it okay to admit that you don't know? Is that weakness? And in my experience, it's been incredibly empowering. I mean, I've got to tell you, because it's the not knowing. Believe it or not, it's the not knowing, and stripping everything down to like the bare bones in terms of what you've been told, what you've read, what you've heard. Strip it all down and get to a space where you can actually listen to yourself. And I'm learning that we can do this around the physical body, and we can do this around our mind, and we can do this around our spirit. We have the ability, if we're okay with the uncertainty and the unknown, you have the ability, once you strip things down to this bare bones, get it down to a base, and now listen. And what you'll find is that you're very, very inspired. You absolutely are powerful. And you have some kind of divinity inside you. I can't define what that is. I'm not afraid to say it, because it just means like something, there's more there than what we even know. And you have that inside of you. And you are powerful. All of you are. You're all powerful. And whatever you're dealing with, whatever you are focused on, whatever's become your pain or your trauma, whatever you need to overcome, you will. In time, you will. And you're gonna have to be patient. it's going to take some time, and it's going to take you being willing to surrender. It's not going to be people telling you what to do. In my case, I had to even learn that even my own mom and dad, they don't know my soul like I know my soul. They don't know what's good for me like I know what's good for me. Because if I even listened to my mom and dad, I'd still be in that life-sucking religion. Everybody, start to notice how many times you see the clock at 11:34, 1:34, and you're gonna notice it a lot now. And I used to notice that every day. Every day I'd look at the clock. Oh my God, it's 11:34, and you turn it upside down backwards and it says hell. And I was just held hostage by that. And you know what? I changed my thinking about it, and lately, every time I see 11:34, I think about, I saw it today, and what I think about is I think how lucky I am that I got out of that life-sucking religion. That was my hell. That was my hell. That's my 11:34, was that hell that I lived in all those years, not being able to listen to my own body, completely tone deaf to my own spirit and my own intuition, completely unable, the inability to hear my own soul, the inability to even recognize my body, my mind, my soul, my heart, my intuition, anything, to recognize what it was telling me. It caused a lot of confusion over the years, for certain. A lot of confusion, but I wasn't listening. And man, when you start listening, wow, you have no idea how powerful you are. When you start listening to that, you have no idea how powerful you are. All of us are. You're all so powerful. Stupid call keeps popping up. But I will say this, it's going to take time. It's going to take you experimenting with different things and finding what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And that's the scary part. And that's the hard part. And you wish people would take that away from you. You wish they would do it for you, or you wish they would expedite it for you by saying, do this, do that. And yet our souls are kind of like a fingerprint. Every single person's soul is unique, just like our bodies are unique. And you're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to try certain things and fail or falter or whatever you want to call it. You know, it doesn't have to be the word fail. I just don't see that word as being that bad anymore. But you're going to have to find your way. But the good news is you will, because you've got this, you have the guiding light. The Holy Ghost was never the guiding light. Your church leaders were never the guiding light. Your parents are not the guiding light. It's there. It's inside you, as they say. It's inside you, and it's going to take some time and some patience for you to learn how to interpret that and to become aware of that. You're going to have to get rid of a lot of the noise. In order to hear it, you're going to have to get rid of a lot of the noise. That actually means you might want to stop reading as much as you are. For a lot of educated people and people that really thrive on education, that could be very counterintuitive for you. You could say, well, no, I need to read more. I need to keep studying more. I need more information. And I will say this, that too much information going in can actually, it can cause a little bit of congestion in there. A little bit of congestion in your consciousness, in your brain, and so forth. get out in nature, meditate, do things you love, and confide in people you know you can trust, and open up. That would be my suggestions. And over time, you're going to start learning your own power. And oh my God, when you realize how powerful you are, it's going to be really cool for you. Your relationships are going to improve. Your health will improve. Your situation, whatever it might be, will improve. I wouldn't say your income will improve, because what is income, right? What is income? My income hasn't improved. I mean, I don't focus on that. I don't know what my income is. I genuinely don't know what my income is. And so I can't tell you if it's improved recently, but all I can tell you is it doesn't matter as much to me. And I think that's because my ability to create is what matters to me now. My ability to help others and serve others and create is far more important than money. So that's another thing I've learned about myself. Like, I hate money. Oh God, I hate money. And I hate that this world teaches me to chase money all the time. That's me. So you'll discover so much about yourself. It is going to be so cool. And you just can't cheat the process. And don't give up. And give it time. Time and pressure. Remember Shawshank Redemption? Time and pressure, time and pressure, time and pressure. If you have time, we have time. That's why we're here, is to learn. And pressure would be what? Pressure is you living. It's you experiencing things. It's you trying things. It's you, one of the things that I have going for me is I don't inherently trust many people. Because of my abuse, I don't inherently trust most people, and that's one of the ways that people get bit coming out of the church or religion. They get bit because they assume that, oh, everyone else that's left this religion or everyone else that's left religion, they're like me. That's not true. It's like this one person said to me once. I made a statement that I love all gay people and all gay people are wonderful people. Well, a gay person actually reached out to me and said, "Don't you say that." I says, "What?" I says, that I love gay people. He says, "Well, believe me, you probably don't love them all." I said, "Well, I'm trying to love all people. I'm trying to be more tolerant." He says, "I know gay people that are some of the worst people on the face of the earth. Just because they're gay, it doesn't make them good people. They're no different than everybody else. There's good people this color. There's pretty rotten people this color. There's good people, that gender, and there's pretty rotten people that gender. There's good people this sexual orientation, and there's some rotten ones." And he said, "I know some that they make you think twice about saying that, and it kind of makes you come across disingenuous when you say that." Well, that was eye-opening for me. But I remember when we come out of the faith, I remember Crystal was inherently trusting everybody else who had also left the faith. And there was something inside of me, my inherent self, that was woo, 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 warning, warning, warning. Lights were going off, like flashing, like, hey, be careful, man. Because not everybody has your best interests at heart. Not everybody, Some people really are miserable, and misery does love company. So be careful who you trust, and be patient. And in time, you're going to learn to trust your own gut, as they say. Every time I've gone against that gut, I'm telling you, and the religion actually had me going against that gut all the time, all the goddamn time. I would push against my own gut for the sake of the religion. No wonder I was miserable in that religion. So anyway, just want to give you a little voice of hope that what I'm finding is that I'm connecting with people better than ever before. And I think that is a result of me learning me, if you can make sense of that. It's me learning to trust me, and me learning that I'm enough. That's pretty powerful. That in and of itself, to learn that I'm enough. I'm enough without Jesus. I'm enough without the atonement. I'm enough without the Holy Ghost. I'm enough without the priesthood. I'm enough. I was enough. I always was. You're enough. All right. Hope you guys are having a good holiday season. I know it's a stressful time. I know that COVID is driving us all crazy. It's just a confusing, frustrating time. And be patient, because we're going to get through this too. Be patient. Be tolerant of your loved ones and cling to them tightly. And give each other some grace, would you? Forgive each other. Apologize when you need to. And accept another person's apology when you should, which is almost always. Yeah, let's give each other some grace. Give your loved ones some grace. Don't hyper-focus too much on the church. I just want to tell you that. For those of you that have listened long enough to get to this point. Coffee. Ice cold brew coffee. It's kind of good stuff. It's certified organic. I'm about to go get a workout. I'm gonna suggest to you that if there's a phase of time where you are hyper focused on the church, then I'm going to suggest to you that that's probably perfectly normal. And I'm not going to shame you for that, because I went through that for a very extended period of time. I think for 18 months there, maybe even 2 years, I was very consumed with what the church was doing, and what are the policy changes, and what are the announcements, and what is the latest and greatest in terms of everything. And it's interesting now, I don't look down on that at all. And I acknowledge that I was in that space, but I also feel so unbelievably relieved and grateful that I'm not there anymore, because it was really hard on me. Really, really hard on me. I'm sure it was hard on my wife for me to be in that space. I think if I were to call it, I want to say that it's not a space of growth. That's all I want to say about it, is that I don't think that that space is a space of personal growth. And you get to a place in your life, maybe it's my age, I just turned 40, but you get to a place in your life where you start to say, is this where I would absolutely want to spend my time if I have a choice where I would invest my time and energy? Is this where I would be putting it? And you might feel emotionally charged to do that, but I would suggest that make sure you're listening closely. Make sure you're very, very much in tune with yourself, and it'll come in time. If you're not there yet, I promise it'll come in time. And it's confusing because we were always taught all this confusing stuff about the Holy Ghost and about, God and Jesus and all this stuff and inspiration. It's very confusing. We are operating at a bit of a deficit here, but it's going to come for you, and you're going to find it. And then you're going to ask yourself a question. Everyone will be charged about something. Could be anything. Some latest release, some latest revelation, something, recent that the church is doing. And, like the people were getting really upset about the Light the World campaign. And there was another one too. It was Light the World, and then there was something else. Gratitude, give thanks or something. And I found that I was not drawn to it. And so what I did was I honored that. And I did, out of just interest and just out of curiosity, I did read some of the posts in our group about how offended people were by the give thanks and the Light the World. And I just want to tell you, I understand how you're feeling. And because it didn't do that to me, it doesn't mean that I'm any better than you. It doesn't. Or that I'm like more evolved than you or anything else. It doesn't mean any of that. I hope you know that. Because I would have been so charged by that, and I would have been the first to throw up give thanks posts and kind of push back. I would have pushed back. You guys know that about me. I would have pushed back. I pushed back so hard for so long. And now it's so interesting because there's even people that have reached out to me, post-Mormon, friends of mine and stuff, and they're like, aren't you going to do anything? Aren't you going to say anything? And it's not that I feel like I can't, or I don't even feel drawn to it. I don't feel drawn to it. My days are short enough. I've got 4 children. I've got my, everything else I need to do and have to do and want to do. I don't feel drawn to it. Does that make sense? I don't feel drawn to it myself. And I just wonder if it actually, and I can't say if this is true or not, but I wonder if it takes power from us. Not that it's the wrong thing to do to push back. I think that might be part of our process. But I just wonder if you stay in that space for too long, if it actually is not a place of growth. Just something to consider. Just something to consider, okay? I would compare it or liken it to a relationship gone wrong with a spouse. Maybe you even had children with that spouse. And the relationship goes wrong. And I've seen it where people, they push back against that former spouse that they feel slighted them or lied to them or cheated them or what have you. And they'll push back, probably a normal, healthy part of their process. But then you'll see it where people keep on with that over time, and they keep on posting little passive-aggressive digs, and they, you can tell they're obsessing over that past relationship. Now, we're not talking about is it right, wrong, good, bad, anything else around that relationship. What we're talking about here is it growth for them, the individual? Is it growth for them? And I think that's where the focus has to be for us. If we're going to talk about enlightenment, which is the title of this group, it's a very, very good title, because enlightenment doesn't just mean that you read a bunch of books, and enlightenment doesn't mean you believe a lot of out there artsy-fartsy new age stuff. It doesn't mean that to me. Enlightenment would be more like we grow and we overcome and we look back and we're enlightened in terms of, oh my God, look at what I was, look what I become. I've changed, I've grown, I'm evolving, I'm happier, my relationships are stronger, everything, better. With that in mind, don't beat yourself up if that's not the case, because welcome to life. I just want to challenge you though. Just evaluate yourself. Can you do that? Can you take some self-introspection? Evaluate your activities. Evaluate what you read. Evaluate what you spend your time. Evaluate all of it. Know that this is going to be a very intensive process. Very much intensive. It was for Crystal and I. It was so intensive. Unbelievably intensive. But we've never grown so much. Ever. Never have we grown so much. Unbelievable. So with all that in mind, not my place to judge anything that you choose to do or you choose to say, not my place to judge at all. And that's not my intention. My intention is just to say, do you want to grow? And if you want to grow, ask yourself, am I content? Am I happy? Am I fulfilled? Am I overcoming? Am I growing? That's a question that you can answer. Only you can answer that for yourself. And I think that if you keep on doing that kind of introspection and take inventory, I think you're going to grow more in the next 6 months, in the next year, in the next 2 years than you ever imagined possible. And why and how is because you will, if you suspend all of that, you got to stop reading what everybody's telling you to read. Do you understand? Everybody might be saying, oh, gotta go over here, gotta go over here, gotta go over here, gotta read this. Crystal, in the beginning, she was saying, Sean, you've got to read Eckhart Tolle's New Earth. Well, guess what? I got nothing against Eckhart Tolle, and I've got nothing against the New Earth. I've got nothing against any of it. But something intuitively inside of me was saying no. It was pushing back, saying no. Not because it's the bad information, not because it's the wrong information, not because of any of that. Now I'm looking back, I see it. It was saying no because I needed to learn to listen to myself. You know, life will teach you. Life will teach you. If you would just start being observant in everything you do, in everyone you talk to, in every situation, if you will be aware, if you will be observant, if you will sit there and process, evaluate. Don't go on autopilot. Don't allow yourself to do it. Evaluate personalities, behavior, everything. You're going to start seeing some pretty amazing things in yourself. And you'll start to become in tune with yourself. And I got to tell you, like, wow. Watch what happens, Janelle Decker. I know you, girl. Watch what happens when we get in touch with that power. Oh my gosh, watch what happens. And then nothing is forced. Nothing is premeditated. You never have to pretend to be more than you are. It just comes. It just happens, and you don't judge anything, and you don't get sad when people don't understand you or follow you or like you, or like, I don't care who watches my stuff. I don't care if I get lots of likes. I used to really be that way. Like, I used to think, why didn't anybody like it? I don't even care anymore. Like, I'll put stuff out there hoping that it helps people put out what's in my heart. If it helps people, I'm thrilled. And if it only helps one, I'm thrilled. Because I just know that there's just different types and different strokes and different flavors for all of us, right? All of us, we just are attracted to different things. But I hope something I can share with you is trust your gut. God damn it. God damn it, trust your gut, would you? Trust that gut. That's your intuition. It's not indigestion. I hope. Trust that gut. It's going to be the best thing you ever did for yourself.